called the financial aid office of every college I applied to. Told them I had to submit my FAFSA without parental information. Told them Sean, the man I don't call daddy and who has only ever been 23 chromosomes won't give it, raises his voice to shout like Otis Day, hurls "you're stupid" from the bottom of his throat every time my mom and I try. Each college said my parents are married, so the boy I refuse to call daddy lives with us, and that they can't help me. Said I was in a tough situation like I didn't know, and like I don't see the lies of the people I live with and how content like a snake has opened its mouth wide and swallowed their lives whole. My brother Robert is jobless, almost 30, has an associate's degree and no direction. My sister Jessica is sleeping with the man she loves and isn't her husband. She just got laid off, has 4 children, and no more food stamps. My brother Darius has made a house out of my grandfather's room to avoid everything that's on the outside of his door. My younger brother Philip has taken the geometry regions 3 times, smokes weed, and wonders what he'll do with his life. My mother, had she gone to UCLA, would be a doctor right now. The closest Aunt Carla has gotten to being an actress is flipping the pages of her celebrity tabloids looking for herself. My family has redefined happiness to make their lives mean something. This isn't about college, Kanye. This is about being here. I don't mean here in Brooklyn. I mean here, this place where dead dreams lurk in the footprints of everyone you're close to, where your future stares at you through the eyes of a parent. It looks like a husband I don't love, an affair to revive what's in my coffin chest, a job that reminds me of what I never achieved, a checking account with a 0 balance, and children whose faces ask, "What's for dinner?" It's 7:54 right now, the 14th day of 2012, but here, barriers between days have dismantled themselves and morphed 24 hours into one long minute, because it feels like 2011 and 2010 and 09 and 08 and every year that made me wish my feet would move. College was a step towards being a published writer. For the past 2 years, the contempt in my soul pushed me to get A's. I lost sleep to write essays, didn't hang out with friends to do homework, but now it's slowly sinking in. There isn't an escape from what dirties the dishes and puts the dust between the floorboards of my house. Not pursuing your dreams is a sickness. My mom and the giver of 23 chromosomes are carriers. It is in my plasma, and sometimes I cry like a dying man of a terminal illness because everything has just gotten so hard, like breathing, like having faith in myself, like believing I won't stay here. This place reeks of settling, and I'm starting to get used to the odor. I'm too full of fear that I'm going to be my family. I've seen the way their muscles fold, how their joints crack. It is in me. I am infected. I am losing hope and determination. There are times when I ask myself, who am I kidding thinking that I'll be different, that I'll do something with my life? What makes me think I can get there? There, the place people are referring to when they say you've made it or that you're on your way. I feel that I am not on my way, that I am such a failure because I strive for college and likely won't go. And I'll see my friends leave and I will stay. I don't know who or what can help me get there. I just know that if I were there, I wouldn't know another hungry night. I wouldn't be scared to pray. I wouldn't wake up feeling so weak. I'd be progressing towards my goal. I just ever feel you're not there, Kanye? Does the question, how do I get there, swim laps in your pool of thoughts? If so, what is your answer? Thank you.
I want to tell you a story about it. It's like a love story. Thank you for that, Danny. To all of those in Washington, D.C., or Albany, New York, who work for think tanks, research institutes, conferences, centers, special task forces, to all of those who are searching for answers, this is what it looks like. I want to start with a few general comments, and then comments to Danny. and then to us as educators. I'm going to start with two quotes, both by Nikki Giovanni, who I thought about when I read your work, and how Nikki Giovanni had played such a role in my life when I was a youngster and writing poems. The first quote is this: "I want to be clear about this. If you wrote from experience, you'd get maybe one book, maybe 3 poems. Writers write from empathy." And the second quote: "And you will understand all too soon that you, my children of battle, are your own heroes." We are implicitly motivated to tell our own stories. No one has to tell us to do that. We learn language by definition because we are motivated to share with others what is burning inside of us. A critical literacy education should be focused with helping youth to tell the stories they are dying to tell us, or, as Sabrina mentioned, maybe they are dying because we don't allow them to tell us. Make no mistake about it, people. Literacy is a matter of life and death. Our lives and their death. Paulo Freire, an educator who has also influenced my life, said that true education must begin with the existential experiences of the people. Not disciplinary content, not standard-based curricula, but the existential experiences of the people, what drives them, what they bleed for, what burns inside of them, their passions, their dreams, their hopes. We can develop a rigorous and powerful curriculum by asking youth one simple question: what would you like to say to the world? This piece, written by Danni through a personal narrative, speaks to a myriad of social issues that need to be addressed. Learning about why these issues occur and working to prevent them from happening to others could be the thrust of a cross-disciplinary pedagogy that deals with history, sociology, critical race studies, geography, public policy, gender studies, to name a few. It can all begin here and spiral out if we think about what young people have to say to the world. To Danni: "You brought us into dark places where dead dreams lurk. You brought us into sleepless nights where a hungry poet is fed by anger and love. You showed us the vulnerabilities and the tragedies of the youth that through our own comfort and indolence we have allowed to be possible. You showed us how the decayed dreams of our ancestors can contaminate the present. But you also showed us how the strength of will can endure, how we can dream and write ourselves into more powerful futures, how the spirit of poet warriors is inextinguishable. From the griots to the lost poets to the scholar ballers of Urban Word NYC, hatred cannot vanquish us. For those like Danni, it only makes us stronger." Danni, you didn't settle. And not only have you always been there, but through your words and your life, you are bringing us there with you. Danni, keep writing. Your voice is light and life for yourself and others. Danni, your poetry is pedagogy, a pedagogy of the self, but also a transformative pedagogy that impacts others as you have done for everyone here tonight, and I'm sure everyone who you've touched through your poetry. Keep fighting, Danni. Marshall McLuhan, a noted media theorist, once said, "Nothing is inevitable as long as there is a willingness to contemplate what is happening." Danni, hold on to your contempt. That contempt that is dually fueled by your love and your personal dignity. That love that fuels, that love that foments resistance, and your excellence is resistance. That love is our promise. That love is our reason. That love is our conscience. That love is our courage. That love is our reconciliation with our better selves. That love, your love, makes you and us whole. Danni, you will never forget what you've had to endure, but you will never forget what your determination has made possible. And that is what makes you special. It is also what will enable you to become an inventor of futures for yourself and others. A Hungarian physicist and Nobel Prize winner, Ernest, in his book on the same topic, opines that the best way to predict the future is to invent it. While these are perilous times, we need to be about the business of inventing the future that we want to inhabit. My last set of comments are to the educators. That's to the teachers, the parents, the students, community leaders, clergy, uncles, aunties, grandmas, great-grandmas, great-great-grandmas, and I've seen them great-great-grandmas that are still walking their 5-year-old great-great-grandchildren to school. 8 things. Number 1, we must be about the business of keeping dreams alive. Not of Common Core. Not obsessed, but of keeping dreams alive. My students in LA taught me, don't think of us as numbers, think of us as dreams. Every student represents the dreams, not only of them, but everyone who loves them. Look at 5-year-olds carrying their lunch pails on the first day of school in kindergarten. All I see is dreams. All I see is joy. All I see is hope that we destroy. Keep dreams alive. Number 2, we must be about the business of keeping voices free. You cannot tell someone how to speak their truth. Quiet, where's Sabrina, is a death sentence. But so is an adulterated voice. Right? You lose that dialogue with your own self, and how can you know what you think? And how can you be self-actualized, as Bell Hooks says, if you have lost your own voice? We have to be in the business of keeping voices free. As educators, we must be about the business of praise, not grades. I'll say that one more time. We must be about the business of praise, not grades. That is how people learn. Honoring who they are, their accomplishments, showering them with love, and showering them with praise. That is how we grow, and that is how we are nurtured. Number 4, we must demand excellence of ourselves and others as an act of love. It's not about a job. It's about love and demanding excellence. That is the best thing that you can do for somebody, is to show them that excellence is possible for them and take them one step closer along the way. We must be relentless in our work. And we have a lot of work to do. Right? This is not the time for fatigue. It is not the time for negative attitudes. It is not the time to complain about complaining. Right? This is a time to be relentless. That is one of my favorite words. Because when I find someone who is relentless, like Danny, I know that nothing's going to stop them. If our collective capital was used together with that relentlessness, there is nothing that the city, the state, the government, oppression could do to stop us. Right? Problems are difficult, but people united are unstoppable. We must maintain what my colleague Jeffrey Duncan Andrade calls a critical hope. It isn't a blind hope. It isn't a naive hope. It is a hope that believes that our youth are stronger than the obstacles they face. It is a hope predicated upon a belief in ourselves. It's not that I think that the system is fair or just, and it's not that I think that everyone who has power over you loves you. But I'm one of the people who believes that you are stronger than all of that. That is the source of my hope. You are the source of my hope. These poems are the source of my hope. Urban Word is the source of my hope. And any educator, parent, student, older brother, sister, auntie, uncle, grandma, great-grandma, neighbor who nourishes that belief is the source of my hope. I'm an optimist because of people like you, Danny. Number 7, we must let the youth shine. For they are light, and we are nurtured and energized by that light. And number 8, we must never, 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 ever, ever give up. Our youth aren't an obligation. They are not a cause. And they are not a duty. They are the very reason we are here. They are the reason for our existence, for our lives, is to help young people. There's no greater privilege to play a role in their lives. It is our work with others, my father, a lifelong educator, has said, that makes us eternal. And we must never forget that. I want to thank you, Danny, for your light. Thank you for your words. Thank you for not settling. Thank you for maintaining that contempt that's fueled by love, that dignified rage that is manifested in your excellence as a human being. And thank you, Urban Word, for playing a small role in making that possible.
Yeah!